Hi there. This will be another one of my rant videos because Philips seems to be at it once again. Hopefully in 2022, in 2022, all of you know about planned obsolescence or obsolescence anyway, and what it actually means. It means you build a product, but you make something from it fail after the warranty quite abruptly. Like one of my 128 gigs cards from my dash camera failing about 3 months after the warranty ended. Ain't that weird? Anyway, thank you Kingston for that. Anyway, but about Philips, I have a video about these things and their internal batteries failing and not allowing it to work, but if you replace them it fully works once again, but they are not replaceable. So this whole big thing is nerfed by some cheap batteries. Could we have a tiny battery cover and replace the rechargeable batteries when they fail and not need to recycle all of this? And in all honesty, most of this will probably end up in the landfill anyway, because not all people's cannot talk today. Not all people and all countries recycle properly. Actually, even my own city, I think it barely recycles properly. Anyway, so that's that. I will link it in the description. Now let's go to something else. I will show you why this also matters. For the moment, this is a lithium device. The battery is holding a lot. This seems to be quite good, but we will see what's planned to fail in it in a few years. But now for the chargers. I have a really old charger. I didn't even brought that thing. It's for one similar to this. You will see it in the other video because this one doesn't work in here. Why would it work with a single device? Why shouldn't you make more of them? Because this is prettier, it's shinier, it's newer, but does the same stupid thing. So why not waste resources on building a new... I digress. Anyway, so this really old, still working perfectly. The one of these, which is with black and white, still working properly, no issues whatsoever. As you can see, rubber in good shape, still has the injection whisker in here. Everything is as it should. Charger itself in proper shape, no issues with it whatsoever. And then I started seeing little bits of dark things on the washing machine, because there is where we keep the chargers. And then I come to this by chance. Ain't that peculiar, weird, let's say like that. This seems to be falling apart. First thing when I saw it somehow like this, and I instantly went to my wife and asked her, what did you do? She did absolutely nothing, because then I realized this little rubber is falling apart. So from let's unplug this from here. From this one, which is, I don't know, maybe even 5 years older, to the other one, they forgot how to build rubber that lasts. Really? Is this some kind of a joke? Let's be honest. This is intended to break. Anyway, even the wire itself seems to be getting a bit gooey. And let me assure you, these things have sit in the exact place. So no difference in conditions whatsoever. So it's not that. And even then, you say, okay, the cable is failing. I cannot unplug it by a different cable. But what about this thing? Ain't that cute? You can see all sorts of cracks, and you might think, what did you do to it? Did you drop it? I asked my wife the same thing. No, it's not dropped, and if you look on it, if my dumb camera would actually focus, there are no impact marks anywhere. So this, and it's, you can see I cannot push it back. Doesn't want to stay in there. Something is pushing against it. And in here, if these cracks would be created by some sort of impact camera focus, this would be bent. They are not. They are completely straight. So it's not impact. Again, something is pushing on them from the inside. Something is splitting this thing up from the inside. Now, did they again forget in about 5 years how to make a proper one of these? Nah, not really. They are going for cheaper quality and making them last for the period of the warranty, and then you are done with it. Another one of my problems, and this is where this comes in. This thing uses the same connector on the back that this new one that I got without a charger from somebody. Actually, it was a present from their company at work, but they didn't give them chargers. So hip hip hooray for me to find out that same charger actually does plug into it, and I can use the same charger for both these devices. Well, now I cannot anymore, can I? So that kind of sucks. I need to buy a new charger, waste more of my money and create more e-waste. So thank you, Philips, for that. And about what's happening in this, we will find out in a moment, because literally I cannot reuse this. The way it's getting damaged is just dumb, and I cannot reuse this. What was it pushing? Presumably you can see the tiny springs in here which are making contact in there, and this was, the plastic is that brittle that it's basically just coming apart. Why, Philips? Why are you doing this? So at this point I do have something that I am able to use in my future projects. I will cut this cable or unglue it or whatever I will actually be doing to use it somewhere. Presumably, if they didn't engineer something also in the electronics to fail, but I don't see an IC in here, so I don't think there's anything to fail in there. The caps are looking okay. In this case, they just used crap materials on the rest of the power supply. I hate it from the bottom of my heart, and then you come to me and make me, actually not make me, somehow blame me for what's happening in the world with all the pollution and whatnot, and allow companies to do stuff like that. That, again, they can make them better. A few years ago, they were making them better. If we go 30 years ago or 40, they were making them awesome. But no, these days they are barely made to escape the warranty, and that's about it. But weirdly enough, not all products. I have two Philips TVs that are about 10 years old, LCDs, and they are working perfectly to this day. So I don't know how they decide where to chip out. Maybe different departments with different price targets. I don't know. Or maybe they are being fooled by their suppliers, because Philips is not building this, let's be honest. Some company in China is building it. But Philips is in charge of knowing what they are selling and testing what they are selling. Also testing these days, I work for an automotive company. Testing these days, tests are a joke, honestly. All of them are simulations, and I don't mean computer simulations, simulation of changing temperature, humidity and whatnot to simulate what would happen over 5 years of being used or something like that. That's not the real thing. Tests are not done how they used to be done. Everything is done in a hurry. If you find a small issue but are still okay at the limit, you ignore it because you don't have enough time and money to make everything perfect. That fully sucks, in my opinion. Anyway, and that's about that. So yeah, rant over. Philips, stop doing this. Any other comment? and my battery just cut out. Thank you for another sign of planned obsolescence, at least with Samsung. With this particular Huawei, I think it's my fault because I overuse it. Anyway, there's that. Any other companies that are doing this planned obsolescence thing, stop it. Just stop it. If you're wondering about the failing one, it's type HQ8585 and it's a 15 volt one. So I'm not obviously able to replace it with this one, which is an A00390, but it's only a 4.3 volts. So yeah, bummer. A few days later, bought a replacement charger, Akiga. Okay. Tried to not get the original Philips one because we already know what happens to some of those. Also tried not to get a no-name. This seemed to have really good reviews. Seems to be a brand. I don't know the brand, but at least they have a name and they have decent packaging, and the product itself looks decent. If it helps you in any way with any codes on it, please take them from here. Product itself again looking quite good. The cable is let me get it out of the bag, one moment. Okay, so we have the charger here with a sticker on it. Same specs as the one that we are replacing. Sorry for my shaky hand. Same connector as the one we are replacing. The cable is the old type, not the rubbery one that turns to goo. This should last more. Hopefully it will not break right here. And the squeaking in the background is my youngest daughter. Don't ask me why. Anyway, so let's plug it in, see if this guy charges with this, and then if this guy charges directly by plugging it in. While playing around with this cable, I have noticed it's kind of flimsy. So in time this will also break for sure. But at least, hopefully, it will not decompose like the Philips one did. So yeah, if you find a variant that has a bit of a better cable, go for that one, not for this one, but for the moment at least this seems to be doing the job. And it's charging perfectly. So that's great. Let's test this one. If this also charges, we have solved the issue that we shouldn't have had from the start. If manufacturers would make proper products and would properly test them, and they would actually care, and we would have proper laws to prevent stuff just being made as cheap as possible and thrown out there. But hey, maybe someday. Right to repair, who knows. Be back in a second, I cannot plug this. And this is also charging perfectly. So, yep, we have a new charger in the house, which again, ideally, we shouldn't have had the need for, but yeah, there's that. So that's it for this video. Hope it helps you, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.